This video is sponsored by True Gold Republic, the precious metals experts. Talk to one of their experts today about diversifying your portfolio to help assure your future financial security. Find their contact information in the description below and pinned in our first comment. James Kaufman, World News Report today, May 7th, 2024. God bless you and yours, no matter where you are in the world. Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell for critical future updates. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing very large spikes on Earth's electromagnetic field here, and these spikes are off the chart, over 1600 hertz at times. It seems to have started right around 1530 UTC time, and, well, we'll continue to look, but the electromagnetic disturbance seemed to dissipate around 1900 UTC time, which would have been noon here in the U.S. centrally. Now, when we see the electromagnetic field spike this high, we usually see our Schumann resonance going off the charts. Let's talk about that and some other things. Taking a look at the Schumann resonance, we see a lot more activity than we thought. This goes through about 1900 UTC time, about noon central today, but may keep going. We'll see more when we see the 6-day comparison. And we had some activity throughout the day, starting before 12 UTC time. Now, most of these spikes are off the charts. These charts ending at 105 hertz, and we can see the geophone activity up here in pink. Absolutely phenomenal. Something is hitting our geophones, our ULF, ELF, and SR frequency sensors or monitors very, very hard. Taking a look at our 6-day comparison, it looks like this started around 9 UTC time, and it looks like it's dwindling off perhaps around 1900 UTC time. All of these spikes headed towards the off-the-chart status of 50 hertz. Remember, these charts were only made to go up to 50 hertz because we never saw a Schumann resonance spike over 37 hertz until 2017, when I believe our atmosphere started to collapse due to a pole shift that's occurring currently. Our hourly geophone strips have not been working for about a month plus now. Each one of these lines is an hour, and they're split up into 15-minute quarters. I believe that these are covered in snow currently, but they do operate on the Schumann resonance model. Very strange. They won't operate on the amplitude model either. Now, with that said, we can see that right around 9 UTC time, maybe before that, it's arguably said that around 7 UTC time, we started seeing these spikes. And we're mainly seeing our ULF and ELF sensors go off. Our geophones really haven't done much, although towards the end here with the larger spikes, they did move a bit. Regularly, they will move considerably. Again, I believe they're covered in snow per the pictures I've taken and seen around the modeling station in Italy. Our SR frequency took a dive right here, about 8 UTC time. So we can use that as a start if you'd like, meaning we've been having these spikes for about 11 hours. Now, I know a lot of the folks believe these Schumann resonance spikes mean that we're in an ascension period. Now, technically, that would be true. Higher frequencies and higher vibrations actually should move us into a higher dimension. Dimensions are actually, per string theory, M theory, superstring theory, determined by your frequency and vibration. So I do understand that theory, but my theory is a bit different. I believe that our actual atmosphere is collapsing and the agitators are bouncing off of a much lower region than they used to in our atmosphere, rebounding strongly to hit our sensors on the ground. And I'm going to prove that, or try to prove that to you again today. First off, of course, there's going to be a lightning storm over the modeling station. And that's going to be our agitator. And that probably has been ongoing for the last 11 hours. Now, with that said, there is snow all over this area. Let's see if I can get a good picture. See the snow here. And I'm believing that the geophones are actually covered in snow currently. Now, with the lightning coming down, being the agitator, well, we have no space weather, so our shields are completely down, as I will show you in just 1 second. And these agitators, this one being lightning, are bouncing off what's called the D region of the atmosphere and rebounding towards the sensors or monitors at a much faster rate and stronger rate. Now let's zoom in and take a look. I'm going to actually put this in motion. We can all imagine that this just moved through. This is part of our 11-hour fun. There is Turin, which means our modeling station will be just to the left here. And there it is, Kumaani. Now tell me if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But obviously, it has been in a lightning storm for several hours. You can see it's actually moving the other way. And it's just cleared out, showing us, well, there's no more agitation around or above that monitoring center. That's why we're not seeing the Schumann resonance spiking any longer. Okay, what I'm going to do is prove to you that our shields are down. You would know that we're not having any type of solar storms, including solar winds or plasma, strike Earth, and our shields are completely down. You can tell that by this being pink instead of blue. It's not having to fight off solar activity, so the shields are what I consider down, meaning these agitators are bouncing off the D region of our atmosphere, the lowest region, instead of the E or F regions as they used to. Now again, I've never seen the Schumann resonance spike while we're fighting off space weather and our shields are in blue or up here. So let's see if that holds true, and we'll take a look at some more information proving our shields are down currently. Now I wanted to also jump over and show you our magnetometers are also in the negative here. This is negative 20, and they are starting to rebound. Our agitator is no longer present over the station, but our shields are starting to perk up a bit. Although, again, they're still negative. Now, as I've told you several times, I believe that we're in the beginning, if not further into, a magnetic pole flip here on Earth. I wanted to show you our D region, the lowest layer of our atmosphere here. When transmission bounces off of it and comes back, you can imagine that it's going to be more powerful and potent because it didn't travel as far. I.e., traveling takes out energy from something. If we have an agitator here and we transmit and it goes through the D region and maybe bounces off the E or the F layer, as the Schumann resonance was said to used to bounce off the E or F layer, when it returns back to the ground and hits the actual sensors, it is much, much weaker. I.e., the reason the Schumann resonance never went over 37 Hertz until 2017. Since then, we've seen it increase from going to 100 Hertz to 150 Hertz to over 200 Hertz. And this is again because our atmosphere is collapsing as our pole shift continues to accelerate. Now, I did find several papers covering this exact fact, and covering the Schumann resonance and the fact that it's now bouncing off the D layer when it used to go through and bounce off the E or F2 or F1 layers. So I did want y'all to know that that is my hypothesis. Your hypothesis about ascension should be correct when you look at any mathematical theory of all, if you will, M theory, string theory, superstring theory. They all say that higher vibration and higher frequency will move you into a higher dimension. So I do understand that thought pattern. But what I do believe is occurring is our atmosphere is collapsing, and you'll never see the Schumann resonance spike very high, if at all, during solar weather or solar storms. When our atmosphere perks up and all of a sudden the F layer and E layer become stronger, fighting off the solar activity. With that said, these incredible Schumann resonance spikes are occurring. I'd love to know if you're being affected by them. I definitely feel lethargic and tired every time this occurs, and I believe that it's just going to get worse before it gets better as these poles actually meet in Indonesia somewhere. And I've always wondered what happens when a positive meets a negative pole. We're going to have to wait and see, but I don't think it's going to be a good thing. Please share, please subscribe, and always remember that anything's possible in Bizarro World. God bless you guys.